happy, happy. All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, yeah. You in with your man K Short, Memes IT, Black Eye IT Productions. That's right. And we're here with the the Red Light Rush live. And if you happen to be at a red light and you're catching this broadcast today at a red light, we'd like to say thank you. Thank you for all your comments and support and all your subscriptions. Thank you very much, and all your likes on Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. Well, if you are in Santa Fe, New Mexico right now, this is what we're looking at. Usual suspects at lunchtime, of course. And we can start out here, away from the mall, away from town, between us and the big city, Albuquerque, or ABQ, not to be confused with ABQ, which is a lake that's north of Santa Fe. But it looks like a green all the way, even into airport over by the mall. There's the usual suspects right there. There's a movie house over here somewhere. And it gets kind of slow right here. That's normal. It's a big intersection. I'm in the wrong spot. I think this is the intersection. This is it. So it gets kind of crazy. There's a little gas butane station over here. But you take this road and get to the police. And here's the road that goes on one side of the mall. And Cerritos goes on the other side of the mall. A mall as we know it in Santa Fe, New Mexico, with all the stores that you can't wait to get to. But around lunchtime, you get the usual suspects. And that's where the red comes in. If you add a red light, I'll give you the over. And you can check this out yourself, but most people ain't got time for that. And that's where I come in. I'm your friendly neighborhood ninja, and I'll do some of the things that you don't have time to do, and you can just check me out and get an update. MEMESIT.com, 505-603-9875. Here for all of your consulting and easy home and small business needs. We have a solution for that. If you're in deep, you're trying to figure it out, don't do that. Don't do that. Do what you do. Do what has gotten you the money and success that you have now. And leave it up to a professional. If you don't call me, call another tech. Call Dot Foil. Call a tech at Computer Guru. Call another guy at Santa Fe Computer, so that you can do what you do best, and you leave the brain cracking stuff to the experts, so that you can get on with it and continue to make money and continue to be successful on your path. So here we are, Beaver Toyota. Of course, this is St. Michael's Drive, and you probably know it well if you live here. And here's Cerritos. Well, every day about this time, this is the usual suspects here. Either making a right is difficult because you got this little street right here where there's a school over here somewhere, and it just causes all kinds of problems. And the light's kind of extra long, and it's always timed so that you can't make it from the light over here to this light and get through it. It's timed so that you have to stop. It's a control thing. We have it in our power to keep emissions down and keep traffic flowing, but for some reason the authorities prefer to make it to where people can't get out of the city very quickly or easily, so that the traffic kind of stacks up to an extent that it's impossible to flee. So if you don't know about city planning and city government, GIS and all that, there's a quick lesson for all of you students out there. So as you get around the big interchange, Cerritos and St. Francis, where it meets again, you're going to experience a little bit more slowdowns. And if you're downtown, of course, you can see for yourself. These are usually stop signs and lights here in the city. And as you get closer to the plaza or the town square where you're from, if that's what they call it, you're going to notice that everything goes pretty much like New Mexico. I mean, it's just laid back, and there's no reason to panic. Excuse me. If you know that you're going to, if you know ahead of time that you're going to have to wait. So, as you get out of town, there's the same old, usual suspects. Traffic. People think that they can actually make it from one light and get through that light, and it's not perfect. Sometimes people do make it to the other, but they're not going to get through a second light, a third light, like they want to, or like in other places where they have the lights timed so they don't have a whole bunch of carbon monoxide just filling up the city and making things hotter. So here, it's the other way around. So anything that you know, if you're visiting, thank you for coming. Thank you for spending. We yield our city to you so that you can enjoy yourself while you're here. But just know, everything is the opposite of where you come from. So that's a truism. And most people aren't ready for the very laid-back pace in which New Mexico is inherently exuding 10 hours of the day. This town, like a lot of towns in New Mexico, shut down like, I don't know, 8:30. Ain't nobody out there but the cops. and you know, hey, it's revenue. So I know a lot of good cops, and I don't know any bad cops. I don't know the people that are laying folks out in Albuquerque, and I can only imagine they're not from here. So one thing that's really cool about Espanola, whether you're into the nepotism thing or not, and we can go right over there. If you're headed out to Espa, or Alcalde, if you're headed out that way, there aren't many sensors out here. There are a few. You got to go past Powatque and through a few other cities that are really cool out there to get to Espanola. And it looks like it's all green. So if you're actually doing a bit of traveling, here's Abiquiu Lake, not to be confused with the big city, Albuquerque. Great lake, too. I wouldn't advise jumping off the cliffs, though. It's clear water. But, you know, water refraction with light is very hard to tell whether that's a rock jetting just below the surface or so you find a lot of head injuries out there. And those first responders out here try to do their best to warn people, but they can't warn everybody because people are, hey, it's a lake. People are happy, they're excited to get there. Anyway, it's all green. Let's take a look. Going towards Colorado, looks like it's all green there. Don't see anything to be overly concerned about. It looks like they finally finished up that, there was some road construction out here, which they, at a certain time of day, went down to one lane for a whole bunch of hours every day. Now it's finally finished. We can zoom out, and looks like if you're going to Cali via Arizona, looks like it's all green there. And if you go on to Tejas, looks like it's all green right now. And looks like there's a big accident as you get out of Texas going into Louisiana. But I digress. Let's give you a little bit of this weather. So let's see if we can hit refresh and make sure that's the right temperature. Reload. And it is. So earlier it was 44 degrees and now it's 48 degrees. It looks like, and this is, the traffic was brought to you by Google Traffic. You can just type into Google Traffic and your zip code, and it will give you your exact location. So a lot of other places, if you try to do that, they'll give you the closest major city, but with Google Traffic, if you put in the exact zip code, you're going to get the information for that zip code. All right. And I'm using for the weather today, I'm showing off Weather Underground just because they just have so many features related to meteorology and weather that you can really dive off into to find out different things, kind of like the almanac of weather. So, and they have everything, storms all over. So it's not mamby-pamby. It's not just the weather that's around you because that doesn't really depict weather. Weather is a global event, and all of it's related to each other. So that's why I really like Weather Underground, because they're not blocked off from showing you weather, say, in Japan, which is going to hit California. You understand? You understand? You know what I'm meaning? You know what I mean? Anyway, looks like we got some activity, some precipitation, reflection off to the west. Or is that the east? That's the east. Off to the east, headed our way, I suppose, because everything goes west, right? No? Wait a minute. There's Los Alamos. Here's north. And yeah, wait a minute, is that east? What the hell's going on here, man? Yeah, was I right? Yeah, this is the east. So this is going this way. You can see my little thing. It's headed that way. So this is west and this is east. So to the east of Santa Fe, you see there's some big reflections, which is good because we need some water over that way, which is not bad. So let's check out what it looked like. So we had a little bit of a warming trend. It looks like that'll continue into Thursday. The high will be 53, and on Friday, Free Will Day or Free Willy Friday. Looks like it's going to get up to 67 degrees, and overnights are going to get warmer as well. So we were about 28 degrees a couple nights ago and last night, and it looks like that's a warming trend. That's true. And by Saturday, it's supposed to be sunshine and blue skies and a nice temperature, 74 degrees, and that's kind of like Hawaii. I mean, you can't have, without the water. We don't have that sound. I think we should put speakers up in our town of waves so that people can feel right at home, but that's just my own thing. We have a park that could actually handle that. It has a big gondola, or where you grow flowers on an arc or something like that, or overhang. And we have one of those parks, and I think some real relaxing sounds would be nice inside of that sound garden, if you will, allegedly. Don't want to get in trouble with Chris and the boys. But here we go. Looks like Sunday will be the height, will be the apex of the heat, and then we'll start a cooling trend all over again. That's just the way it is. We got some highs making that possible in conjunction with some lows. We got a high sweeping in and a low coming out. And here's our wind detector. We got a wind direction. What's that? Northwesterly, 5 miles an hour. About 5 miles an hour. So if you caught us at the red light rush, and you were actually at a red light or a stop sign, we love to hear that. We love that around here, and we like to. I mean, it doesn't matter how long you were there. If you caught us, if you caught the show and you were out there on your mobile, we want to know so that we can continue to provide that service for as many people as possible. So I'll give you another look at the, if you are at a red light, give you a first-hand look at the traffic. I might have to, there we go. All right. And this is Google traffic at 87501. And again, most of the traffic is all green. The usual suspects, here's St. Michael's and Cerritos. It's always going to be like this. Looks like it started to speed up right here because this was red a little while ago. Oh, there it is. See that? But that's the usual suspects. That's no big deal. What is a big deal is if most of this turns yellow, like a whole strip of street, that means an accident. Or if it turns red, something really bad happened. And what happens in our town is usually somebody is, and I hate to say this, taking privileges that they don't exactly deserve. They think that they're in a particular food market parking lot, and they think it's okay just to walk in front of cars and not even look. No. People get picked up at intersections just because they feel like people should just stop. That's not reality. The reality is there are computers in people's cars now, and people are not really paying attention as they should to the road because that phone rings or that text pops up or whatever. And we got people, I would say every seasonally, about 3 or 4 people end up getting picked up, and some of them don't make it. So that's just the facts. So I would say if you got to do anything on your phone other than that, that's doing too much because it's taking your eyes off the road for too long. If you have to think about what you're doing, it's not worth it. You might as well just wait. And then that call can't be as important as you picking somebody up at an intersection or getting T-boned by a garbage truck. That call could probably wait, or that text could just wait another few minutes. It's not that critical. We just have to change our minds about what's more important. and prioritize. When you're behind the wheel, you're behind the wheel. Now, I'm going to hear a lot of email about that, but it's true. When you're behind the wheel, there are other people dependent on you to actually be driving, and that's it. And kind of important. I guess it's not that important. Well, first thing first, at the Red Light Rush, thank you for tuning in again. MeansIT.com. Your man K. Sean here with you, your friendly neighborhood ninja. Would like to give you a heads up. If you have an AOL account, go to the bank right now. Go to the bank that you frequent the most. The bank branch that you usually go to, you need to get there. And you need to sit down with a professional and decide what to do. Don't try to change your passwords on a compromised account. It's not the smartest thing to do. Smartest thing to do is if your account's wrapped up with your bank and it's been compromised, go straight to the bank. They have by law, legally, they have to shut their doors if at any time their system becomes unsecure. Millions of dollars to make that happen. That's why we get charged for our free checking. Is to make sure that that part of the infrastructure does not get damaged. However, there's another important information bit that you need to know about. I, Super Ninja, actually received an email right on my device. I received an email from Yahoo telling me, a person of color, that I was going to get blacklisted. Something wrong with that automatically. As I was angrily pounding out my response and threats of all the people I know. You know who I am? You know who you messing with? As I was, as the ninja just rose up and my chest puffed out, I noticed it said Cash. The sender was Cash Gray or some stupid name. And before anything, usually, everything being equal, before a correspondence from a major company with major money goes out, it's usually run by what is called legal. It's usually run by legal. So terms like blacklist to any ethnic group is probably not going to be present when it refers to you or something that you are part of. It's probably not a term that's going to be. That should have been my first clue, but the ninja just, I was having a ninja moment by myself. Is that possible? Yes. It is possible. And so it turned out I have a secure kind of thing going on here. Designed this network myself with equipment that I didn't make. I didn't make the equipment. I just put it together. That's just kind of the way it goes. But I said, well, let me see where this goes. I clicked on the link. I have a VAST, which I encourage you pay for. You can have the free version of antivirus, or I would do this. I would pay for the actual year account. I guess it's good for 1 year. It's about $20, but they don't. They've been very good. I used to use another company. I won't say their name, but at some point they took the money. Somebody showed up with a Brinks truck and they sold all their customers' information. I had emails I had to clean up for days. Turns out it was them. They sold our information, and I felt so bad because I was telling people about it and all that. And it can happen to anybody. Everybody has a price. Most companies have that. I mean, look at Washington. Look at what's called the lobby down in Washington. It's just a matter of time. If you've never seen the movie Mr. Washington, Somebody Goes to Washington, you should check it out. It's an old flick, but it's very relevant to this day. It's still relevant. Is that there's a such thing called companies can line up and pay politicians with all kinds of things that you wouldn't ever think that was possible. It's possible. It is possible. Trust me. And there's a limit. So you might be a good guy, you get into politics, you go down to Washington, you got the best intentions in the world, and before you know it, somebody has reached the dollar amount to put you in their pocket. That's just the way it is. And we put people down all over the world for doing basically the same thing. We use dollars and they use bullets. So, but it's essentially, unfortunately, it's almost the same thing in a way, because you got people that are authorities put in positions under duress to sell you and my family, your family, out for the dollar, and it's just a matter of time. And that's what Lord of the Rings. I love the allegedly Lord of the Rings. There was a big symbology about authority and power over a certain period of time. With that, it's going to get corrupted. It's just a matter of time. So everybody has a dollar amount, no matter what your intentions are. At some point, so if you need if your little precious lamb needs a kidney transplant, she's got it. She's all of a sudden at the top of the list. And guess what? You're going to thank the people that made that happen. Trust me. Trust me. So there's a certain, the company that I was using took the money, and I can only imagine it must have been it was way more than their customers were giving them. So it was in effect a Brinks truck load of money, unless they went Suge Knight on them, allegedly. And I was so happy to see Vanilla Ice back in the mix. He's getting money again. You know, he's still doing it. I'm very happy. But you know what? He changed his whole thing. He started doing something he liked, which was fixing up places into places like he had. You know, he was taking people's money that had the money and giving them the entertainment and all the kind of fixtures and stuff that he was used to. And now he's going to be able to afford all that all over again. So I'm real happy to see that, whether it's true or not, the story was that he got held out of a window, and then that was thrown into a movie, major movie, which leads me to believe there might be a little truth to that. If you know, the business is dirty. Some are dirtier than others, but try to open up a restaurant in New York City, and sure enough, if you don't get a visit from the fellas, excuse me, pardon me, and you think that's a game. That's not a game. That's true. If you want to do business, you got to break off a piece of that pie. And Lord have mercy, don't have a bar. Oh, forget it. You'll be working for somebody. You think you the boss for about, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks? They let you pay all them bills. See, because once you get started, you have to wait for that next month, and then you re-up because you ain't really made no profit yet. They wait for that. They wait to see if you can make it past that first bill cycle, and then they come in. That's just the way it works. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. You heard it from your friend. Anyway, I digress. Back to it. I followed the link, and it turns out to be a fake link. Avast told me that the site was a crap site, and that it had already been reported by several people that it was spam and all this and all that. But if you are unwittingly going to that site on anything other than a Linux application, you could be compromised, especially if you are not protected. So, yes, these things are great. However, they do have a lot of information. So if you're not on a Linux base, say if you're on something that's easy to crack, you might not want to use it to follow that link, because it's going to say go to this link or you won't be able to email. So you try to go down into the email and respond, and it says, your account's been frozen because there's some kind of suspicious activity, right? But that's only that email. It was set up that way. And then there's only one thing you can click on, and that takes you to a bogus website that's probably phishing and stealing people's information that are unaware of it, or that don't have a proper system from their IP provider, ISP provider, or they don't have a proper antivirus program going. So wanted to let you know, AOL, if you are an AOLer, or if you have information on your AOL account that you haven't used in a while, they've been compromised. And that story came down in the early morning hours, a couple days ago. So I had already tweeted to all of my followers and the people that enjoy the shows that I do here for memesIT.com and Black Eye IT Productions. Wanted to let them know immediately, and I did. And for all my VIP customers, what a Memes IT VIP customer is, that means that we can be called any time of the day or night, and you won't get a recording. You won't reach an answering service, or you won't have to listen to automation tell you that that it doesn't understand what you just said or pushed, what button you pushed. You get a real live person that can actually handle different problems or consult with you about the best mode of action at whatever point you're at. That's what you get with VIP service. And there are a few guys that around town that provide that. However, it's upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 a year to be a part of them, and we don't even ask for a fraction of that. I mean, we prefer not to be greedy, and we actually prefer to be in position to actually help more people than just to get rich off of a few people. That's not what we're about. What we're about is helping people, as you can see. I think we have evidence of our behavior and the things that we do in that statement. So I just wanted to let you know. So I think it's important. And we got, that's the Weekender. We can go back here. If you don't know it yet, if you haven't heard by now, I want you to check out what your kids are doing, because no matter how mature they may seem, and some of them are pretty mature, they're still under development. They're still developing mentally, physically, and emotionally. And there are companies like this that thrive on undeveloped minds, okay? And it's your money, and it's your responsibility, and it could be you going to jail. Or worse, if you work in a field that you can't have certain felonies on your, or even misdemeanors in some cases, this could affect your livelihood, because those children represent your name and your house and you, and if they do something inappropriate, guess who has to pay for it? And it's becoming that way more and more. And if you don't know it yet, there is a manual for raising children. I don't have any that I know of. I remember I had a affair. Is that what it's called? Is it a fling? I don't know. A one-night stand. A long time ago in H-Town on the, what's that, South Side, Rampart, or whatever. They used to just shoot every night just for the fun of it. Just shoot. But I don't know what was wrong with them. But anyway, there was a young lady that I met after coming out of the cantina across the street who just wanted a baby. True story. True story. So long story short, I don't have any kids, but there are books and manuals and all kinds of resources in the 21st century. And if you've never read a child psychology book, I encourage you to even do some light reading on it, because it's fascinating to me. Most people that read it find it fascinating, and they can see quickly, because they were children, that certain things are true, and they can start applying real fixes to their family relationships immediately. Once you get a basic understanding, or a real understanding, and not just what people are saying, you can get a real understanding for yourself. Well, said all that to say that you don't. This is these type of programs are without constraint. They lead your children to believe that they won't be caught if they say it's totally anonymous. That's not true. And they should be held accountable for that, because that is a unfair practice. That is not in accordance with the laws that we have here in the United States. You can't tell somebody, you can't sell somebody an apple and tell them it's a diamond. You can't give them a certificate of ownership for a diamond ring and sell them an apple. That's a Fair Trade Practice Act law. That's a federal offense. Now, what they're doing is they're leading your children to believe that these applications on these devices are untraceable, and that is absolutely a falsehood. And guess who could go to jail or lose their livelihood over that? That's right, Ninja. That's right. That's right. And that big truck, that four-wheeler you got, and that boat, you can say goodbye to that, probably, trying to get out of trouble so you can get back to work, to make a living, to pay the mortgage, to take care of your kid that got you in trouble. Kids thrive on structure. Kids push limits on purpose to find out where they stand, not unlike a wolf pack. There's always one of those baby wolves trying to find out how far they can go and where their role is in the pack. You dig? And this is years and years and years of they don't say, I'm not trying to offend or unnerve you, but if you just put the religious side stuff aside for a second and realize that we are animals, I'm a talking monkey. I'm damn, and my alleged cousin, Spike Lee, probably don't like that kind of stuff. Neither does Rev Run or Reverend Al, but it's true. It's true. I'm related to them in some way. And I saw a snow monkey the other day in Japan, in Hell's Valley, do the same thing that I've seen myself and all the people I know do. Look up at the snowy sky with a happy face and stick his tongue out. Yeah, that's how deep it is. We are related. They have teeth, they have fingers, they don't have opposable grip or whatever. They can't actually, but they make tools and they have fights and attitudes and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I'm getting off the point. I digress. The kids, they thrive on it, and they're constantly giving you a hard time just to find out if you still give a damn. And I'm not just making that up. Don't believe, check it out for yourself. We encourage everybody to check things out for themselves and not just believe, when you get time and you find it interesting enough to spend your precious time to check it out, or if it's important to you, you will do it. You will check it out. But don't take my word for it. If you hear me say something crazy, it could be true, allegedly, and it could not be true. But this is one of those things that I'm asking you as a good citizen, because nobody's knocking you for working, nobody's knocking you for taking care of business, TCB. But what this represents, this company represents a threat to your house in a real way. Not only they're misleading your children to go against your wishes. Most of the time, they're taking your money, because it's not the kid. The kids ain't got no job. You gave them a card with an allowance on it. It's your money, right? It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. My point is, spend some more time. Make the time, because it could mean everything, and you have no idea. I mean, how long has this been going on before some kid blabbed to somebody that gave a damn? Because they need structure. I digress. Anyway, that's in the news, and you can check that out for yourself at techcrunch.com. That story is by Sarah Perez, and that's about cloak. There's a thing called Yik Yak, allegedly. Yik Yak is in the news allegedly for almost the same reason. They give kids the opportunity, or they say anyone allegedly, but we know really who they targeted. It's not a secret who the target is. Is you and your kids, and through your kids, they're doing some amazing things that you don't know about, and that's unfortunate. And I think it's criminal, but they got enough money to pay people. Petty way. That's right. So Hulu, I am a customer of Hulu now because I have a wife who saves the world half the day, and the other half of the day she wants to she calls it veg. She turns that part of her brain that works really, really hard and processes all day off. And she don't want to think about it no more. And this is what she does. She has some shows that she likes to see. And instead of paying $165 a month, I'm paying, I don't know, 10, 20? I don't know. I'm not paying much. Or we're not paying much, but we're getting our any show we want on any device we want. And now Hulu is actually going to be giving movies away for free, even if you don't have an account, to anybody. So that's good news. Back to America. Quid pro quo is what this country was how it started to thrive, something for something. And just like all the people you see on my video right here, the only reason they're there is because they're paying me. Now you say, well, damn, Sean, well, you ain't got to be so. Well, I'm telling you because I don't want you to be misled as well. They're not paying me in money yet. I mean, I haven't seen a check from any of those people. But let me tell you this. They are partners. They are contributing to my efforts in something worth more than money right now. All right? And that's you. They're delivering people to watch me give out advice and good news and consult and show people things that they might not ordinarily know they can do in other circumstances, because everybody else just wants to take their money. Oh, it must be a virus. Bring it on in. We'll get you straight. I can't wait. I'm actually going to do undercover investigation on each and every computer shop in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and there's not going to be a damn thing wrong with the computer. But we're going to find out who's been naughty, who's been nice. We're going to do that right here at Memes IT, Black IIT Productions. I promise you we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's all going to be legal, baby. That's right. We're going to find out who's your friend and who's your foe, because not everybody's your friend. I'm going to let you know that on the strength, on the real, straight up, on the real. For reals, yo. Ninja. No, but they are, and they will sponsor you too. You can have a family gathering. You don't need $1 million worth of equipment to do something like what I'm doing right now. Google is providing that. YouTube is providing that. Facebook is providing that opportunity. Twitter is providing an opportunity. And if you want more, you can pay. Trust me. Hey, if you want more of what they're giving out for free, they'll give it to you. And it's going to cost. But if you don't mind something for free, because there are a lot of prideful people in the world, and that's fine to a certain extent. But here, these people are willing to invest in whatever you got going. So if it's a family reunion, you can broadcast it, hang out. You can do a Google Hangout or a YouTube broadcast for free. And up to about 2 hours, I think, is when it stops taking the backup server. And I think you can go as up to, somebody said they went up to 4 hours of actual broadcast, where it used to be 15 minutes. Who can have a party in 15 minutes, yo? Again, Sean, this is a VIP customer right here, and I'm going to take care of them because they pay me to do that. So check us out. This was the Red Light Rush with your man, K. Sean from memesit.com. Check us out. Drop us a line. Hit a like. Subscribe. Whatever you got to do to keep us alive and keep us coming to you. And if you just need a ninja to hang out with for a little while, I'll be right here. I'll be right here. You just hit play. Come back and see us again. If you just need to hang out with a crazy ninja, or especially if you got your news from the Red Light Rush while you were at a stop sign or red light, we want to know. We want to brag about that. Also, it helps us to actually bring you more of it. So we're checking out all the demographics, and we're not going to try and do everything. We're just going to try and do one thing. One thing. And rule number 1 is stay free. Be good to yourself. You deserve it. And be kind to others. All right? Because that really represents how you feel inside, is how good you are to your neighbor, people you meet that you don't even know. One of the things that really quickly was that I was told a long time ago, you know what? The best way to be with people is to treat them just like you would like your loved ones to be treated when they're far away from home. I hope that you'll do that today. Thank you. And we'll see you next time right here on the Red Light Rush. Check us out for the midday, and also check us out at the night shift. And we also have a show called The Morning Hash, which is real interesting and fun with your friendly neighborhood ninja, KShawn, memesIT.com. Thank you, and we'll check you out in just a few minutes.